Congressman Jerry Nadler.
That's for the cameras. This one for the speakers.
Thank you very much. We talk about a climate crisis, and indeed it is a climate crisis. But people have no idea how great a crisis it is or how pressing it is. People think, well, the sea levels are rising. It'll cost us $100 billion to relocate. A few million people will drown in Bangladesh and India, and that's bad enough. But it's much, much worse. Much, much worse. I have a 13-month-old granddaughter, and when I look at her, I get terrified. Because I don't know if human life will survive 50 years. We may face, the climate scientists tell us, that we may face the 6th mass extinction in the history of the globe. If the oceans acidify, which they're beginning to do, it will destroy the entire food chain, and essentially all that will be left will be bacteria and maybe some plants. And none of us, none of our children, no mammals, no animals, except for amoeba. This is what the scientists tell us we face in the next 50 years. We have to stop this. The Green New Deal, absolutely. We have to do that. And I'm very glad to see all of you here today, because we have to start the pressure campaign to get rid of those ignoramuses in the Senate and the ignoramus in chief. The ignoramus in chief in the White House. You know, Donald Trump says he knows better than all the scientists. He knows better than all the scientists. His gut tells him better. But what if he's wrong? Is he willing to gamble all of human life on his gut instinct? The answer is yes, he is. And that's why, among many other reasons, we have to change who's there in the White House, and we have to make sure that people feel the depth and the immediacy of this crisis, which is approaching us much more rapidly and much worse than the scientists even told us 20 years ago and 10 years ago. So I'm glad to see you here, because half measures will not do. We are facing a crisis. If we had a world war, God forbid, the country would mobilize. This is more important than a world war, and the country must mobilize, the world must mobilize for this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Impeach Trump! Impeach Trump! Impeach Trump! Impeach Trump! Impeach Trump!
Thank you. Yeah. We're so grateful to Congressman Nadler.
Game over, man. It's game over.